Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Gavin Courtney.
And it's a lovely Tuesday morning, Gav.
Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay. I feel like the weather has been holding up this morning. I know it rained really hard last night. Of course, we have been experiencing some showers from storms outside of Belize, but nonetheless, it's a pretty good morning so far. The sky looks blue. It doesn't look too overcast. So we'll find out what we'll get weather-wise for the rest of the day, I believe, and I'll be able to tell you how good I am at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, for sure. And I was thinking the same thing. Every time I'm coming here, the biggest sign, apart from, of course, if there's clouds in the sky, it gives me a little extra step of encouragement because whenever the weather is nice and good, there's always a lot of people outside walking, exercising, and I really love to see that. So maybe one day that'll be me too, getting up early to exercise. But for right now, it's just you guys who are encouraging me.
The problem is, because we are here so early, we would have to be up like maybe 3:30 to do our morning workout.
And yes, I know, and that's crazy. And actually, now that we're getting later on in the year, the days are getting a bit shorter.
Yeah.
So now I know that when I get up to come for here, it's still completely black.
It's still nighttime.
Yep.
We come to work nighttime, guys, because we love you, our viewers, and we want you to open your eyes and start your morning right here with us.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I too have observed very dedicated persons going out and doing their morning exercises. I used to always say I'm not a morning person, but I will say I feel like that has evolved because some mornings I wake up easier than others. And I've said to myself, maybe I'm just getting used to it. I'm adapting, you know. So I might just be a morning person. I have no coffee in me. And I look like this, so.
Right. Yeah, you're full of energy.
Yeah, I'm full of energy. The only thing left is to jump on the road and join the folks there doing their morning workout. But Gav, let's go into some topics that are buzzing. Now we know that we had a pretty crime-filled newscast last night, so we went searching for other topics simply to provide you with news other than that which would be somber. So there are some topics buzzing online on the international front. We know that, of course, there's a lot of weather developments taking place outside, that Belize is also experiencing some of the hit from it. But perhaps you could give us an update, our unofficial weather reporter.
Yep. I like that. I'll keep that mantle. But yes, as Sabrina mentioned, and as you probably would have felt over the past couple of days and from the weekend, we are still feeling some effects from a tropical weather system, which is now actually upgraded into a hurricane. That is Hurricane Idalia, which is currently in the Gulf of Mexico, which is north of the Yucatan Peninsula. It intensified very rapidly from a tropical storm to a hurricane late yesterday. And of course, we were feeling some of the effects from over the weekend. We know that it was very rainy across many parts of the country, especially along the coast. And as you can see on your screen, Idalia is expected to head its way over to Florida and make landfall by late tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Now, it is currently a Category 1 storm, but our meteorologists are expecting that by the time it does make landfall in Florida, if it does, it may intensify to as strong as a Category 3 to a low Category 4, which of
is
course,
very alarming.
yes, and it's going to, and it's still right now expected to make landfall in about central Florida, north of Miami, so perhaps in the Tampa, Orlando area. So we know that we have a pretty big Belizean community in the state of Florida. So especially if you are watching, or if you have loved ones that are in that area, it's of course a huge reminder to take every precaution, get out there, and try to be as safe as possible, because a Category 3 or Category 4 storm is something very concerning.
Very serious at that. I mean, we saw the impacts of Hurricane Lisa, which was merely a Category 1 last year, and the damages that it caused here in Belize City. So I cannot imagine what Category 3, as you mentioned, a low Category 4 could possibly do. And as you rightly mentioned, there are Belizeans all over. We definitely have our fair share of Belizeans in Florida. So we do want to send all our well wishes and safety to our family and friends in Florida. Please be safe. Please prepare yourself for the storm and try to shelter in the safest place as possible. For also persons that are listening that may be here in Belize but also have loved ones in Florida, definitely reach out to your loved ones at this time, because it might be a while since you would be able to reach out to them, because we do know when hurricanes come, power outages come, and a lot of times you're not able to reach out to your loved ones until they're able to restore all the utilities back to normal.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, it's always a reminder for us as well. We are well into the hurricane season.
Exactly.
And we're heading into the time of year where it is more active than in the beginning of the season. So as we also expected, we were expecting to see numerous tropical weather systems over this current hurricane season, as has become the trend, especially over the past few years. So it's always a reminder for us as well to stay vigilant and to be cautious and to keep monitoring these systems. As we know, and as Sabrina rightly reminded us about Hurricane Lisa last year, things can change very quickly. And things can change in an instant, so you definitely want to be prepared and take whatever steps to protect you and your loved ones.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Gab, for providing that. Of course, you do know that we gather an official weather report from the National Meteorological Service, so we will be providing further details on what you can expect on the local front later in the morning show. But Gab, other than that, we do have some other fun What's Buzzing topics in the sports front. Our very own Simone Biles, I understand, has made another record for us, and of course for herself and her family, her team. Give us a little bit of insight on that.
Yes, she has, and it's great. If you have been following gymnastics or Simone Biles' career, you would know that yesterday she made a record-breaking 8th U.S. championship in the field of gymnastics. And with her 8th championship, she actually broke a record which was held for more than 90 years.
Wow.
The previous record was, she had been tied for the previous record of seven U.S. championships. And yesterday she made history again. And of course, Simone Biles is already the most decorated gymnast in history. She's one of the, she's won one of the most Olympic medals in her event and in general in women's sports. So this is, of course, adding to her long list of accolades, and she also is the oldest woman to achieve the U.S. championships at her age of 26.
Wow.
So, you know, she doesn't show any signs of slowing down or stopping now, and we're probably going to be talking in a few months about another record that she broke.
You know, it's so funny you said she's the oldest woman at 26.
Right?
That's old. Is that old in sports?
Well, maybe for gymnastics.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is, because 26 to me is like baby years still,
Right?
you
I know.
know?
I was thinking the same thing.
But yeah, congratulations to Simone Biles. As we mentioned, we do claim her because she does have Belizean blood. So we will definitely be saying our very own Simone Biles. Congratulations to you. But Gav, you had one more topic that you were telling me about this morning. That was a little bit of trending online, and it had to do with a trending kiss.
Yes. And in another international story, if you were keeping up with the World Cup Championships, that is the female World Cup Championships, which the finals were held quite recently, about 2 weeks ago, the Spanish women's team did take the title, and it was a very exciting and great tournament for Spain. And one of the one of the stories which has come out after this is that after Spain took the championship, when the team was celebrating out on the field, the president of the Spanish Football Federation, that is, it seemed was quite overcome in the moment, and he grabbed the team player, Jenny Hermoso, grabbed her, kissed her on the mouth, and following that incident, the player did come out and say that it made her uncomfortable and that it was non-consensual, and in the fallout from that, there have been increasing calls for the president to resign. As we see, yes, and as we see on the screen right now, he has actually, yes, and so that is the President Luis Rubiales. He has actually already been suspended by FIFA for the incident pending an investigation. And he himself has said that he's not going to resign. That is his current position. But now we understand that even though he is the president of the association, the regional heads have now been calling for his resignation just because the team as well has given a statement in support of the player, Hermoso, saying that that sort of incident and that sort of behavior is very inappropriate and it shouldn't be accepted.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's a lot of debates going on, both in Spain and internationally, about this incident. Of course, you know, the player herself said that she was uncomfortable, but other people have been saying, oh, well, perhaps it was just a moment of emotion and that they were caught up in the moment and the victory and all of that.
I'm watching the video, Gav, and we clearly see him having the female in an extremely tight embrace, grabbing her by the head, and there's like at least a second and a half of him thinking before he made the kiss.
Yes.
So could it have been something that was premeditated, or do you think it was him being overcome by emotions? Because he had a tight embrace. He could have stayed there and hugged her like that. He held her head, and then he went in for a kiss.
Yeah, and yes, and as you can see, that's what everybody was saying.
He went in.
Yes, and you know, so it's been a huge topic of controversy and over the past few days. And actually, there have been a lot of things, including the fact that the news reported that his mother has also come out in support of him and is going apparently on a hunger strike.
A hunger strike?
Yes, in support of him or in protest, I suppose, of all of the criticism and the calls for him to resign.
What is a hunger strike?
Apparently, she is in a church, is what has been reported, and she's refusing to leave. She's refusing to eat. I don't know what exactly
so she's fasting for her son to stay.
But the thing is that he's not resigned yet, so I'm wondering at what point she will come out, because because he is still maintaining his position. So
yeah, maybe he should think about his mom in this moment, because I don't know how long you might want to go without eating. I'm curious to know what's his position on the kiss, because he's saying, as you mentioned, that he refuses to resign.
Yes.
But is he saying anything about what he did? Did he say, you know, I didn't feel like it was anything wrong. I didn't
Yes.
intentionally try to kiss this female.
Yes, as far as the news has been reporting, his position is of course that it was something that was done in the moment, and that he thought that it was consensual between the two of them because they were just like so. It was just a moment of emotion. But of course, immediately afterwards, the player, Miss Hermoso, did say that it was not consensual and it did make her uncomfortable. And she does have now the support of her team, who has so the Spanish women's team has publicly stated that they are in support of her, and that Mr. Rubiales' conduct was very inappropriate and that he should face some sort of consequence.
Yeah, I don't see how consent was in that when he had full control of her head. So, all right. Yes. Well, let's hope his mom doesn't fast for too long, because that's not healthy to not eat for a very long period of time.
I did. Just before we move on, there was one very quick thing continuing in the world of sports, just so we can end on a more brighter note. As you guys know, if you watch it, I'm a very big fan of tennis, as you know, so if you're following that sport, you'll know that the US Open is being played right now. It's a Grand Slam, one of the biggest tournaments, and it's actually the first sport, or this first tournament, I should say, that awarded equal prize money to male and female players.
Excellent.
So they were celebrating 50 years of that last night, and so there was a ceremony. Michelle Obama, former First Lady of the USA, gave a very moving speech. Both Barack and Michelle were at the Open watching some of the tennis being played yesterday, but there was a ceremony that to mark the 50 years of equal pay money between men and women. And also at that ceremony was the very famous player from the 60s and 70s, Billie Jean King, who was a female tennis champion, who very famously played a match in the Battle of the Sexes back in the 1970s to prove that a woman could compete against a man at the same time. So she was there being honored. President Obama and former First Lady Michelle were also there. And of course, the tournament kicked off on yesterday and will be played for the next 2 weeks. So just wanted to drop that in there to give a little bit of a positive end to our What's Buzzing.
That's definitely positive news, Gav, and I'm glad that you closed on that, because I think it paints a very progressive picture of what can be in the sports world, where females and males can be recognized on an even playing field when it comes to different disciplines. As you'd know, and of course many other persons that follow sports, it's always mentioned that females are always underpaid as compared to males in the very same sporting discipline. If you compare female basketball to male basketball, there's a complete gap. But thank you for that information, and of course for the What's Buzzing. We appreciate it, and I know that our viewers equally enjoyed some of the topics that you provided today. All right, we're going to move over to our eye opener this morning, and of course it's taken from dailyon.com, and it goes like this. When we are criticized or attacked, it is important to not take it into our heart space. One of the most difficult challenges in life is learning not to take things to heart and hold on to it. Especially when you're younger, or if we're very sensitive, we take so much of what comes our way to heart. This can be overwhelming and unproductive if it throws us off balance on a regular basis. When we are feeling criticized or attacked from all directions, it becomes very difficult for us to recover ourselves so that we can continue to speak and act our truth. This is when we would do well to remember the old saying about letting certain things roll off us, like water off a duck's back. Eventually, we will be able to hear the feedback that others have to offer, taking in anything that might actually be constructive and releasing that which has nothing to do with us. First, though, we tend ourselves compassionately by recognizing when we can't take something in from the outside without hurting ourselves. This is when we make like a duck, shaking it off and letting it roll off our back as we continue our way in the world. This is a good one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And of course, it can be difficult to take criticism at times. But a lot of the times, I think it can be constructive, and there's always something to learn from it, especially if it is criticism from somebody who has your best interests at heart, or somebody who wants to see you improve. Then it's definitely, while it can be difficult to listen to, it's definitely worth it. And in the long run, if you do pay attention to that and try to improve or work on whatever it is, you realize that it can be worth it in the long run. And don't focus so much on maybe the feeling that you might get in the beginning of getting some criticism.
So there's definitely the area where you are receiving criticism to better yourself, as you mentioned, Gab. But then there are instances where persons simply are attacking you, as the eye-opener said. So in that instance, that's where it's teaching us to be like the duck and have it roll off our backs like water. And that can be really challenging at times, because especially if you're a person that is very critical of your own selves, it could be really hard to receive news that are negative, news that you might consider being nitpicking on something very small about yourself that you maybe recognize on your own that you need to work on, but it's kind of like picking at a wound. So I know that this is a really hard activity to practice, to have it roll off your backs. Some of us kind of just get heated and we want to fight back. But I think if we remember that sometimes criticisms comes from persons that care about us, like Gavin mentioned, and that has our best interest. So in those instances, criticisms can allow us to grow. In other instances, definitely let it roll off your back.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, as you were talking and as we were reading the eye-opener, I was also thinking that especially in this day and age, in the age of social media, people can get a lot of criticism or feedback on almost everything. And of course us, and you know, I was also thinking about us, you know, we work in media, and people are commenting and, you know, so you have to also know how to filter it versus what is constructive, what is just... Let me tell you,
Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I first started here, that was such a hard lesson to learn, but I'm really glad that I'll tell you, I have not mastered it, but I have really been able to allow some of them to run off my back like water. And others, I think I recognize, and I have my foundation and my core group where I go to for feedback. A lot of times it's not what I want to hear, but I receive it because it allows me to grow. But excellent point, Gab. All right, we're going to move over to our weather report and forecast, and that is provided by the National Meteorological Service. We have an audio update for you, so we will be providing that now.
Good morning. Relatively moist and unstable conditions continue over our area as Hurricane Idalia moves northward over the southeast Gulf of Mexico. The forecast for today is for mostly sunny and warm conditions with isolated showers and isolated thunderstorms developing inland this afternoon. This evening and tonight, skies will become cloudy at times with a few showers and thunderstorms mainly over northern and coastal areas. Winds over the open sea will be from the west to southwest at 5 to 15 knots this morning, becoming south to southeast this evening, and the seas will be light chop. High temperatures today will be around 92 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 95 inland, but only 82 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook is for partly cloudy skies with a few showers or thunderstorms inland Wednesday afternoon, then along the coast Wednesday night. There is a high tide at 8:06 this morning, a low at 3:27 this afternoon, another high at 9:30 tonight, and another low at 2:39 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:38 this morning and will set at 6:08 this evening. The moon comes up at 5:25 this evening and sets at 5:05 tomorrow morning. In the tropical weather outlook, at 6 o'clock this morning, Hurricane Franklin was centered about 370 miles west-southwest of Bermuda. Franklin was moving to the north-northeast at 9 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles an hour. Also at 6 this morning, Hurricane Idalia was centered about 320 miles south-southwest of Tampa, Florida. Idalia was moving to the north at 14 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 80 miles an hour. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
All right, many thanks to the folks over at the National Meteorological Service. As you saw, there are many systems developing outside of Belize, so take heed. Try to start to prepare yourself. The hurricane season is still here, and as Gavin mentioned, right now is the best time to prepare for storms like these. All right, we're going to move over to our show lineup this morning, and we have 3 great conversations for you. Starting things off with a very special and royal guest we'll be having on set with us. We'll be joined by the Queen of the Bay designate herself, Kendall Morgan.
Yes, and that is going to be our first conversation. Afterwards, we are going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to be getting ready for some of the September excitement and celebrations. And we're going to be having a conversation with Dara Robinson, who is going to be letting us know all about his September 9th Bram and Dance.
And in our third and final segment, it's all about the 2023-2024 Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Program. So great conversations coming up. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's all about Queen of the Bay. All right, don't go away.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babe, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Out.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the shark code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back. She stole our hearts on Saturday night at the Queen of the Bay, the 78th annual Queen of the Bay. And it was all about Kendall Morgan's opening speech, her beautiful curtsy, her question and answer, her talent, her poise, her grace. And now we are able to say that she is the 78th Queen of the Bay designate. We have here with us Kendall herself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
And congrats.
We should do the official wave to the guests. Good morning, guys. Kendall, I want to say first and foremost, huge congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It was well deserved. I was there in the crowd watching you, rooting you on. As you know, I come from the River Valley as well. I come from Boral Boom as well. So this for me was personal. But definitely, I saw the work that you put in. You stood out from amongst other, of course, beautiful and talented females, other delegates that was contesting the title as well. You stood out amongst the girls, and of course, you are now here as our Queen of the Bay designate.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Oh, my emotions are running wild, you know. I feel honored for the most part, you know, when you put in that work. Although every day I used to want to cry, just to go away from the gym, all the hard work, the pressuring. And I know that now the hard work pays off. And I feel so delighted to represent my community. You know, it's the first time it's open to the rural communities, and first time bringing home that crown. So I'm so delighted.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Kendall, why don't let's start back at the beginning,
Yes.
at the decision to even participate in the competition. Why take the step, and what were you thinking when you just started the journey?
So it was first encouragement. So they encouraged me to go up for the casting call for Queen of the Bay, Miss Please Rural. And my family is known for pageantry, if anyone knows. Every year we select someone to go for the Miss Boom pageant, and it's on generation. So last year was my generation's time, and they selected me, and I went up and I became victorious. So I said, you know what? I think I could do it. And then I went in and I did the casting call, and I got selected for the casting call, and we started the training right away after my session at Black Cork Aid. And I thought it was going to be easy, but it was very challenging, you know. Just an athlete going into a pageant queen, girl, wearing high heels now, first just flats and tennis. It was very difficult, the curtsy, you know, training for interviews and how to speak properly. I have a speech problem. It is hard for me to pronounce certain words, and that is the reason why I speak fast. And it was messing with my mental, and I was so broken. And every time my coach, also my director, she kept motivating me, Kendall, you can do this, you can do this. And then there was a time that I wanted to give up, and she said, you sure you want to give up, or you sure you want to do it? I said, you know what? I believe I can do it. I believe I can do it, so I will do it. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. A lot of times it really takes a village. It takes your core team, as we mentioned earlier in the show. Let's talk about the journey, the preparation for a pageant like this, a historical pageant. This was the 78th Queen of the Bay. Now, you spoke about the training that involves the curtsy on its own, which is an entire part of the
Yes.
preparation, speech, making sure that you're prepared for interviews. And that's only two aspects of it. You have to prepare yourself mentally for a
Yes.
pageant like this, emotionally for a pageant like this. Walk us through what that journey has been like.
You know, ever since I was a child, I was suffering with depression, and I can say for the most part, my family played a big role in taking me out from that, and also God, because I decided that when I put Him in first, everything's gonna settle, like, you know, it's gonna find peace, and you're gonna be so confident and brave, and you're gonna display those characters. And that was how I overcame it. Even through this pageant, you know, I was suffering from depression, and I had tend to remove myself from around the delegates because I was trying to find myself, and they didn't understand until I told them after. And it was very hard for me, even being away from my home, my family. So yeah, so what I want to say is God played a big role in all that, my mental, and even up to today, like, I'm so happy that I chose Him. Like, at that pageant that same night, I prayed so many times. I worshiped throughout. Even in my head on that stage, I was praying. If you guys notice, look at the live.
Yeah.
I was praying because there's nothing you can do without God, and that's what I understand.
Now, you are an athlete, you're a
Yes.
student, you're definitely a well-rounded young person. Let's talk about some of the other aspects of who Kendall Morgan is as a student, for example. What are you studying, and what do you aspire to be?
So I am currently a student at St. John's Junior College, pursuing my associate's degree in biochemistry. I love everything that's laboratory. Ever since I was young, I love science. I feel like it's my passion. You know, I want to become a sports medicine physician because I want to help those athletes who have injuries on the track. I don't see in Belize that we have qualified doctors that can deal with these injuries, you know, on the track. So as an athlete, I believe if I have an injury, or one of my teammates, or, you know, they have an injury, I can deal with them. And we can help each other. I believe I can offer a lot when it comes to sports. So that's what I want to be. And also, I want to become an Olympic gold medalist for Belize. So
All right, we were just talking about Simone Biles this morning.
Yes, I want to become an Olympic gold medalist.
Because sports is also your passion as well. And
Yes.
you mentioned on the morning show last week that you play everything.
Everything.
You play everything, but you seem to be focused on track and field right now. And that was also one of your platforms, or the platform that you used for this pageant, ways that you wanted to advocate for sports. Let's talk about some of that.
I chose sports because I could have chose anything. I could have chose mental health. I could have chose education, you know, which is something big to me. But sports is my passion. I believe you should advocate for something that you're more drawn to. And I saw that youth in my community, we had potential. And I was like those youths back in the days, you know. I was so good at playing sports, but I never had no equipment, no gears, nothing. I barely had a coach that would be strict and push me. And so I believe that if we had that, I would have been great today. Not saying I'm not good, but I'm not great.
You'll be better.
Yes. So that's why I chose to advocate for sports. So I recently made a club, the Urban Sports Club. I gathered kids from my community and from other communities like Fresh Pond, Buttercup. I want to do Doublehead and other villages along. And we do cleanups, community cleanups. We do visit to the Cookie Tree Museum. That was the first time I ever went there. You know, it was a nice experience, you know, learning about your history, how the rural communities were formed and who fight for us, the Baymans, and even Belize's history. It was a good experience. I had sports evenings. We usually pick up garbage at the roadsides. or at the park, we clean the community first, and we will end off the day playing sports because I'm advocating for sports. And I believe even though I am advocating for sports, as a queen, if you see there's a need to do something, you should do it. So that's the reason why it may seem like I'm all over the places, but it's not that. When you want to see the world change, you have to alter yourself so that you can do so many things so that you make that change, not only from what you're advocating for.
Excellent. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And since you touched on it just a little bit, you can tell us a little bit about the community that you do come from and what it was like to represent Belize Rural, and perhaps even talk a little bit about your family or your support system that you've had while you were going through this process.
Yes, so everyone knows I come from the River Valley, that's Boom village. And my village is known for the anchors and chains, you know, and the mahogany. And it is, I would say, my village itself is a family. I wouldn't call it a village, I would call it a family. It is a large group of people that are united. You know, even if, and it was another delegate here representing, there will still be the support. And each year, when the Belize Rural comes to represent, we will have that support. All the villages and the rural community, we have that union. We represent each other, we support each other, and that's what I like. If you guys notice the Facebook, everybody has been Belize Rural, Belize Rural. Even out at the pageant, there was a large amount of supporters, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. I come from a humble family. They enjoy, you know, playing sports because they're very athletic, pageantry and everything. My family is close to me, and family is important to me because I'm a very family-oriented person. Yes, so
yeah. So the thing is, when you're talking about Borough Boom, I'm making mental. That's correct. That is correct.
I know. I saw you shaking your head.
I agree.
Yes.
Because I'm also from Borough Boom, so I understand. And indeed, just as you mentioned, it could have been a delegate from Rancho Dolores or Doublehead Cabbage. Yes. We would have still gone there to support. And what's really unique about your experience as Belize Rural North is you're representing so many communities. Yes. While these delegates are representing one. Yes. So while you're representing Borough Boom, you're also representing Rancho Dolores, Doublehead Cabbage, Scotland Half Moon, Crooked Tree Village. And that is, I think, what made your experience of having that unity really unique. And I'm hoping that we're able to see more representation from the Belize Rural North for the future Queen of the Bay pageants to come. But I want to say again, congratulations to you, Kendall. Thank you. So you have a year and you are about to officially be the Queen of the Bay. The Queen of the Bay.
An emblem.
This September 10th, you will be crowned. Let's talk about some of the plans that you have for your year as Queen.
Well, prior to this pageant, I already made a list of events that I wanted to do because we're very set and we, you know, punctual and everything. I want to do sporting events. I want to do coach training because I want there to be more coaching in Belize so that we can push these athletes to develop programs, strict programs, you know, diets and everything. And also I want these youth to understand that it's not that they want them to push hard or whatever, but you know, we want Belize to excel when we go outside and abroad. We want the medals, we want our country to shine and have that spotlight, not for violence or, you know, but for positive things. And I think sports can be that.
I want you to use this opportunity to, you know, highlight your team that was behind you during this time.
Yes, so my committee consists of all females.
Lovely.
You know, empowering each other. And Miss Catalina Moody, that's my director. I'm so thankful for her. You know, she was not only my director, but she was my coach. She was my therapist. You know, I believe she saw me crying the most. And she could tell you. And every time I broke down, she broke down too, because she's very emotional as I am. And Jewel Jones, the past queen of the Bay. She's also past Miss Boom. You guys, yeah. So my sister Sheridan Morgan, she's also part of the committee. Miss Stephanie and Gaina. All these women plays a big role in my upcoming to this pageant and my preparation. You know, mentally, physically, emotionally. All of them pushing me, you know, telling me not to give up, not to give up. Every time I wanted to give up, they say, Kendall, when you started, you say, you know what, you can do it. So what's happening now? And that was what motivated me to drive, you know, to drive and go forward and push through all that.
Yeah. And you also had a list of sponsors that I'm certain was behind you as well.
There's a lot of sponsors. I'm thankful for all. I don't remember all the names, you know, and I don't want to call a name and forget any. So I'm thankful for all my sponsors. If you guys can see on our Facebook page, all our sponsors, and yeah.
And you know, when all of the hard work and preparations and even the teamwork, when it all came together for the actual night, can you walk us through what you were feeling the actual night of the pageant up until the point of crowning? Like, what throughout the different stages of the competition, what were you thinking, what were you feeling up until the final moment?
My emotions were running wild, like literally. At first, I was so super excited, and I got so nervous. And then
let's begin with your opening speech, where you introduced yourself and where you came from. I personally thought that you did an amazing job at that.
On the bridge, yes.
Yes. So let's talk about that. You did your march, and then you stood to the mic and you introduced yourself.
Oh, the introduction.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, we did two separate introductions. We did an introduction video, and it was on Facebook. But everyone was talking about, you know, that's where I came from. The introduction that happens in the pageant is what you're representing and what happens in your, you know, constituency or district or the area. So I did a separate introduction to show that I am from Borough Boom Village. Although I represent each community and each rural places or area, I am from Borough Boom, and I want to let you know what Borough Boom is and how I was raised and, you know, what I enjoy. So that was why I made that video. But my introduction now at the pageant, you know, it spoke a lot about who I am also, and I felt connected to it as I was reading it and, you know, going over and over and over. And I felt so confident just saying it. If you notice, you know, the traditional craft and folklore, you know, it was so good. It spoke a lot about what the rural has to offer. So,
and I mean, one of the hardest parts of the competition is that curtsy. Now, we know that it's challenging. You were here amongst your other delegates on Friday, kind of giving us a taste and trying to explain to us what that curtsy is about. Let's talk about your curtsy.
Well, in training, I trained for like 4 minutes or past 4 minutes. It was a struggling coming back up, you know, as an athlete, my legs, but everyone thinks that you're using one muscle as an athlete and then training for the curtsy, but it's two separate muscles, and I understand that after the fact. And when I understand that, then I had to train my other muscle, how to work with the other one. And it was so challenging. You know, coming back up for the second curtsy was difficult for me because my feet, the shoes, it hooked underneath.
Got caught in the dress.
And then I thought I was going to fail. And so I lift my feet, and I had all the pressure on one leg, and I began to tremble. And I was like, Kendall, you're not going to drop, you're going to come up. And I came up, and it was that. Yes.
And
why don't we talk a little bit about the dress, actually, because I mean, all of the ladies look beautiful, but of course your dress looked very unique and stood out a bit.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, when I looked in a picture that one of the, I think, news media posted, and it was giving under the sea. You know, the different shades of blue, the sea, the depths. And then I was the only horizon, you know, that sun on top of the sea. And then I stand out. Everyone did stand out, but the dress color was different, you know, it's something different. And every year we're trying to bring a difference to the pageant. You know, every year we see different colors like red and blue, patriotism, and that's good. But trying to be different, standing out, you know, making a competition, you know.
In a competition, you have to find ways to stand
Yes.
out. And what was really interesting about, what I feel was really interesting about your overall presentation was kind of like your outfits told a story. Because now that I have been able to observe the entire competition, I feel like you did give some hints to your final dress. You wore a beautiful yellow and red ensemble that looked very kind of old English type.
Oh, that was on our arrival.
Yes.
My arrival, if you notice, we had some orchids on the hat.
Yes.
Boroboom is known for the black orchid back in the days, even the rural communities.
Yes.
If you take a drive down from the boom cutoff, you will see them on the roadside. They used to be there. So my headpiece, it represented the preservation of the black orchid, which serves as an advocacy unto itself. So even though it is all over the rural communities and the countryside, I want to raise awareness, even if it only pertains to one area in the rural community, because it's our national flower. And Boroboom itself is known for all the national symbols. We have the flag, we have the tapir, we have the black orchid, we have the mahogany trees. We have every single symbol in our village, and each and every village. They walk freely, they fly freely.
Yeah, beautiful. Alrighty, well, and the final part of the competition was your question and answer. And I know that is just as nerve-wracking as that curtsy, but a different type of nerves. Let's talk about your question that you got and how you felt that you did when you answered that question.
You know, while in training, my director already gave me some questions, and it was hard for me to answer questions because I wasn't used to being, you know, in that type of environment, and, you know, people just ask me questions to answer like a mic. And so we had to do so many trainings. And I was very prepared. She had me so much research and so much asking myself questions, and I answered them in like 3 different answers and pick which one I want to go with. And then we got the topics. And then I started to farm answers, and my community, I want to thank my whole community. Throughout this pageant, I had everyone from my community sending me questions based on the topics given. So I answered them. So the community plays a big role. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, and that shows. Yes, so my question was about failure. And first, my director already gave me a question based on failure. And I gave her an example stating that I could remember playing football when we lost to SCA, and I was so hard on myself because I said we could have won that game, but I was only basing on me. You know, I failed, but I failed to realize that it wasn't a one-man's game, but it was a team. And I didn't use that example because when coming into this pageant, I felt like I had to be someone else, you know. And I never wanted to do that. I know I don't want to lose myself. And so when I answered my question, I said I failed to realize that I can only be me. I can never be somebody else.
So that answer essentially came from your heart in that moment.
Yes, and I said, in life I understand that we will fail all the time, but I do not focus on failure because it's an experience that you will live and should grow from, you know. And I try to implement that in every life situation. Yeah.
And why don't you talk a little bit about what it was like to meet and compete with the different delegates from all over around the country, and what that experience was like?
It was a nice experience, you know, getting to meet new people. When we did the first photo shoot, everybody was so open and nice, and, you know, sisterhood. So I didn't care who I had roommate, you know. The roommate I had, and I got Miss Toledo, and she was super, super nice. She was super nice. She kept cheering me on, even when I was down and battling with my anxiety. She kept cheering me, saying, Kendall, you can do this, Kendall, you can do this. So I'm so thankful for you, Aliyah Guzman. And yes, so the experience was a nice experience. It will be an experience I will never forget, you know. the opportunities, getting to meet the Prime Minister, the Governor General, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Kendall, again, congratulations to you. We can't wait to see you be crowned September 10th and officially call you our Queen of the Bay. But until then, we'll definitely keep in touch, and I'm looking forward to seeing what your year looks like.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be joined by Dara Robinson to talk to us about his September 9th Bram and Dance. Don't go away.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Full-Tech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
When designing your kitchen or bathroom, you want fixtures with functionality and style. Showcase your decor with these kitchen and bath fixtures, keeping in mind that the finish is the start of your design. Choose from our wide selection of Delta, Peerless, American Standard, and Easy Flow, available at Benny's, quality and savings.
Caribbean Sprinter is proud to offer our best available rates to Belize residents online at sprinter.bz. Register today for our Sprinter Rewards program located on the resident section of our website. Skip the line when you book online with online check-in.
How does investment services work? For example, Joe's Construction wants to expand its operations by purchasing new equipment and hiring additional staff. How can Joe's Construction get an investment loan? The answer: Investment Services appraises the loan application and focuses on two key areas: adequate collateral and repayability. Investment Services will also consider how Belizeans and the economy will benefit from this new investment through job creation and business growth. The terms and conditions for Joe's Construction loan will be based on the purpose and cash flow. After recommendation and approval, the loan is disbursed. SSB remains committed to proper management of the fund through prudent and responsible investments for the benefit of its beneficiaries, employers, and the Belizean economy. Social Security Board, an investment for you, your family, your future.
And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we are just getting our second conversation for the morning started. And we are joined in our studio by somebody who is definitely not a stranger.
No stranger.
To a lot of you. We've got Dara Robinson, who is the owner of the Dara Cyber Theater, and we are going to be talking a lot about what he has got in store for the upcoming September celebrations. And specifically, we're going to be learning about a September 9th Bram and Dance. Good morning,
Good
Dara.
morning.
Blessed morning.
Mr. Dara, I have to say, it seems like we have you here every month.
Well, I wouldn't miss the opportunity because as a promoter, and you need to get out your stuff there. So every opportunity you get, I jump on it. You know?
So you're here to talk to us about the September 9th Bram and Dance.
Yeah, the idea why I come with, of course, ex-service league, the known for a lot of veterans and middle-aged and Belize and American, and of course a lot one there for the 10th. What I wanted to do, I said, you can't go there without play soul's music first of all, but I wanted to join the September celebration, so I decided we can do Bram, and I even find an old school name, and dance. But the way, I don't know all you guys, but I'm 15 and we grew up on the Lord Laro, the Calypso Rose, and the Lord Ray-Ban. That time we jump up and real 10 Bram and dance. So what I'm trying to do is bring back their music, play it, I want to show them on the screen, you know, they perform, because I don't got money for bringing no artists and things, but you know, feel just like Lord Laro, Ray-Ban, and Calypso Rose there.
Mr. Dara, just before you go into further details, I want you to take us back in time because you said that you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you were a younger man, how do you celebrate the September celebrations earlier in the years?
Like, I mean, always like when we does the home, my mother does decide everybody going to Memorial Park, and we look forward for say, great. They used to bring in St. Calypso Rose, St. Lord Laro, King Sarge shirt, and of course with for we great Ray-Ban Peter. And as a child, we grew up watching Caribbean people perform, of course, so we Belizean. And it was so peaceful, you go out there, you never have to worry about no lot of crime then time then, and a dodge, and just go out enjoy yourself as a child, catch what you could catch to eat, and enjoy it. So we grew up on good music, and over the years, me never yet jump up in a no parade. I usually just watch the parade and always look out for when that big truck pass with the same artists on it. And that used to be for we thing as a child. But to me, to that day, it's more commercial, and then the music where they come to that day, you don't really got much sense, but I just hype and a lot of slackness. But this is the time now we live
Well, we have the target audience, you know.
Right, and the young people are into that, you know, and thing. But I try to keep my thing old school and try
because they have folks that like your music too.
Of course, and we still there wrong, and we still want party and enjoy for ourselves, you know. So, but 10 used to be 10 for me. Like I don't think I gonna watch on 10 parade for a couple years now. Like I don't got that same spirit from I jump up and go see it anymore, you know. I still go watch Carnival, you know. To me, bring a little more thing, but the parade itself at 10th and 21st not really catching like one time, you know. Like, well, me maybe I get old and think, but I'm not really, you know. But
what do you think has made you lose that desire or that feel for patriotism that the 10th and 21st
I like that
comes
name
with?
there because I never may remember to say that, but I think that the way we're losing at the 10th, we're not really, to me now, everything political, like, we're not really the 10th and celebrate that, like, then divide it, they say, this party had that for 10th and the 21st of the next party, when it should be one celebration, but, you know, the buckle, whatever they say, but, like I tell you, in everything, politics make the thing and then take the fun out of it, you understand? When we should just celebrate. God is now a month of celebration, and so coming up to what? Independence Day, where we should be proud. You understand? So that's what we want to focus on.
Yeah, and so the Bram is to kind of revive some of that feeling.
Yeah, well, that what I want to try to, because I
Inspire
know
yourself.
one lot of Belizean American and they're wrong, and a lot of things are happen. Not just me, they do things, but I they do my only thing. Hope that God bless the day and the weather good, because you see we're in a hurricane season. And my granny and all of them used to tell me, on 10th day, we may get one of the biggest hurricane. What you mean here?
This is the 1931 hurricane.
Yeah,
no?
where they go and watch parade and end up being one of the biggest. You remember how the hurricane there? Hate, yes, Hate for 110. Yeah, but we in a hurricane season, man.
Yeah. And we were just talking about that too.
Yeah, I'm listening to this morning while we could talk. We celebrate people to get ready for face it again. But we know out of the woods yet.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Because we the right. If you watch wrong the map, lot of things they're right wrong.
And we were talking about that too. So very good input there, Mr. Dara.
Yeah, ma'am.
So let's get into some of the details of the Bram and the dance.
Right. Like I said, it all happened at the Belize Ex-Service League, the 9th. That one be on Saturday for bringing the 10th, which is the Sunday. We are start from 8 o'clock to play music. Later on, we on the show, the live show then. And then I get Tony G when known for play good music. Of course, we gone for Water's song and he himself and play music. And then later on in the night, you can go to ex-servicemen and think you just play reggae, soca thing and no squeeze. So later on, we are giving us some Otis wedding, something, and because you could never do an event, they call them people, they look, they don't want to just jump up all night, they want to hold each other and that. So I done experience because I do several events there and I know that you can't do nothing there without having a soul session. So plenty souls music. And my event, them known for be clean. I make sure you come in the dress proper, you behave yourself, you know. We try keep everything nice. I rent tables. I set up outside of the yard with tents. We put on at least stage. We have an extra bar set up. I know exactly what I did because
this isn't your first rodeo either, Mr. Dara.
No. I will experience in a promotion and then people will complain and then you try to do better the next time. So you always listen and try better for when you do it again.
So what's the cost of the event?
Just $10 for getting there and thing, you know. And also before I forgot, I have a next thing for the September right here. We have had my friend turn me on to a Ford Escape 2006 vehicle. Where I want to have one raffle for that. I want to have that starting September 1st. We have ticket available for $20 for one ticket. And I wish somebody poor would win it because the vehicle in a good working condition. And I don't want to put my name out there, my brand, and give nobody something. I want when you win a vehicle there, you'll get something decent. And like I said, I want to start that Martin first. That will be the first spot I want to day the vehicle and try to sell off some ticket this Sunday at the Martin first. Besides that, I want to like when Expo, I want to carry a different era, different celebration. And you get a ticket for $20 and you could win one 2006 Ford Escape.
Is there a reason you are raffling the vehicle?
The vehicle, really and truly, I'm going to put my business out there. I never planned to, but that one pickup I really need.
Okay.
The vehicle I get, one really can't deal with the road where I got my farmer, you know, because you've been there. If you go back there, you need one pickup vehicle. So the proceeds what we get from for that to afford me, make I could get my pickup. You understand? Sort of a gift to raffle it, and then after that I get my vehicle for the road. Because right now, the Lee pickup I used to use, I had to get rid of it, sell it for basically parts because it gone in. So I did go up on farm on my cycle right now. I know that can't carry anything. So right now, that one a nicely pickup truck I need for invest in, and so that the reason I did try raffle off this vehicle here. They're a nice vehicle. I mean, if the road dry, I could reach it, but it used to happen in rain. One rain overnight and a road they get slippery. You've been there already.
And I mean, it's important to also share that the farm that you have there, it's not only for yourself, it's for your feeding program that you also provide.
And now, of course, my income, and I'm telling you, we gone through a lot during Lisa and one crazy dry. So basically, we just get back and they get back on my foot. But I need to go down my farm more than how I do right now. You understand? Because due to transport, I'm not really the move how I used to move and go and do my thing. You know. So but normally everything I try do and thing I always try give back to the community. Is just that about Dara, you understand?
Exactly.
And I know for that, and me not like a party when I boast for what me do and what I do, you know. So I just do my thing, and then the community support, and you give back. And God bless me in that way, because this September, I'm just my Brahman thing. I never had no plan for deal with the vehicle, and then every Jan they come, the vehicle come, and I saw already saw my opportunity. For somebody buy a ticket for $20, win a nice vehicle, and I try sell a monk a ticket so I could raise the money to get the vehicle I need. I don't know where they get it, you understand? But I just get the funds for it.
When is the drawing date?
Beautiful question. Like I said, September 1st, the ticket will start selling, and we are the 29th of September, which is the last Friday. I want to mention this, but I'm not ask more yet. I want to try Raffle it for the WB show. I just want to make sure the ticket in a barrel and spin. No problem. And
you could have Raffle it yet.
But it's a lot.
It's fine. I'm joking with you, Mr. Dara.
But I want like as usual, get one of them same barrel, then thing we will spin, and then I want to get somebody. Me myself, I don't tell my wife. You can't get in at the Raffle, my dad and nobody, because I don't want no controversy and nobody bought me out. But any other family member, anybody else could purchase and take it. Just we were the wife, husband, and that we can.
No, I go winning a one vehicle back, you know?
I don't look here already, directly look, I end up winning back with one vehicle and then I get burned out first. But really and truly, I want somebody get it where really have. And
deserves it.
And you know, since I post that they give me more buzz than me dance. So I said, I know where I got to do it now, because I get people call me from Belmont, Orange Rock, want to know how they could get in the Raffle. So there's a lot of things I need to fill out. The first time I do it, and I tell you now again, if I put my name out there,
I know it comes with integrity.
I don't want to put and give nothing to nobody. Even the $20 you think you can get a bucket, you can get something nice, you know.
Yeah.
I got a vehicle home. I did do some leap spraying job and things for make it just really got a nice, but the engine, everything in a good condition and things. So,
Mr. Dara?
But I'm always thankful for Channel 5 for giving me the opportunity to come and spread good message, because we need this in times like this, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I always want to continue, but I know the pandemic is not ready for me. Like I could just get.
You could continue, Mr. Dara.
Yeah, but I just flow with the flow, you know. But you ask question, I would answer if you have anything. But I cannot want straight from a brand, because I gone into this Raffle, like I tell you, and that they create one buzz.
No, but we were going to ask you about the Raffle. We are aware that you are having the Raffle. Of course, it's for your business, for your farm, that also benefits other people
for everything.
Through your feeding program.
Check this out. Sometimes custom call me, by Dara, we got some onion, we got something here. I would have to try borrow vehicle or try PFA vehicle. You know, like the other day, I think that you Nemo, they had some boxes where they can get from. So one of them some way, but then give me 50 of them for give away. I could have gone and picked me up myself, you understand? So we always need a pick-up vehicle. One car not really work for me, you understand? For move, you deal with farming, you have to care of feed, you have to care of things for your animal and things. So I need a pick-up, and I don't want to beg nobody for a pick-up. I rather do it this way than try to get my own thing.
The last time you were here, you were talking about your Father's Day dance special that you had. I want to use this opportunity to ask you how it went.
Well, I want to make it nice, you know, because remember, I do a dance, but when you invite me for one of Father's Day special, I never feel so special. I mean, when I had my daughter with me, and I may feel good. And
I love that, Mr. Dara.
I think that experience, I don't want to tell any father next year to get into that, because when I got home, I feel so proud. And when I watch the replay and I saw my daughter express herself, and, you know, I mean, we never ready for the question and the lead thing, but it was all fun and well put together, you know. I enjoyed them things, and then a while live for, you know, like just take life, because we all go through really struggles, we all go through really price thing, and so, but you have to find time for fun and any things that means enjoyment for me. I still have it in my heart. I'm still excited.
Well, we were so happy to have you here with us, Mr. Dara. That's something that we provide, or at least we try to provide every year for, of course, our fathers when Father's Day, and also our mothers when Mother's Day. So I was happy to know that you were able.
And I have to say, countrywide, I feel like people hear it, and Father's Day may more celebrate this year, so I have to say that to you. I'm a
really glad for that. That's me feeling.
Man, I feel like we did a much better job for make we feel better with our fathers. You know?
Well, so we're gonna try up the ante every year.
Man, of course, I thought we got good daddy too.
But I know that you had an event as well.
Yeah, I had. Listen, I did first time country and western where I had tribute to Kenny Rogers, asked people to dress up like cowboy.
How was that?
Then came, especially the females. I mean, ex-servicemen never experienced something like that. I mean, the people that wanted to hear Kenny Rogers music whole night. And it was really fun. I know one man, I know both for the event. I wish I may ask somebody how the event gone and thing. But for me, what did it feel like? If I do that again and double the crowd, because the people enjoy. And I know the things that I do people like, because everywhere I go, people and say, boy, when you have our next dance, what you do for the 10th and thing? It's that I don't have like money for really promote my thing, for make the thing right now. I just use the social media thing, like when you invite me, other media house and people here. But for really get it out there, you need money, and I don't got money for that. So I just do my lead thing and hope people turn up. And people, once they hear they already have something, they know it clean, then come.
Because you have your loyal supporters.
Yeah, and I build too, because the ex-service league, I get one new set of clients where, must see when I got in, they said, who this Lee young one here, they can do thing, you know. They said that I could do good dance and thing there. They came, you know, and it bill. So starting the 9th, like I said, from 8 o'clock, ex-service league, how I call it, I even forgot, September Brahman Dance, featuring Calypso Rose music, Lord Laurel and Lord Rayburn. Of course, we are playing of souls. So you want somewhere nice to come with drinks on the out there from Boeing and Boeing travelers. Food, people don't check me for sell food. And then this Sunday, Martin Fest, I want to start off, carry the vehicle out there for Raffle. $20 a chance, you know, win a nice food escape, 2006. So I got my work full for the whole of this 10 and things, so I'm grateful. I'm thankful for again Channel 5 for having me as a guest. And thanks to everybody who has support me over the years and support
Always a
everything I
pleasure,
do.
Mr. Dara.
And we wish you every success with the event and with the raffle.
Yes.
Bless. Thanks again.
Alrighty, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's all about the 2024-2025 Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Program. Don't go away.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Francis Renault Concert Series is back and presents the Electric 80s. Join us at the Bliss Center for 2 nights of colorful performances, starting on Friday, September 1st at 8 p.m. and also Saturday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Come out as vibrant voices whisk you away, back in time with celebrated 80s hits. Tickets are available at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts and are $25 for general admission, $40 reserved, and $50 premium. For more information on how to get your tickets, contact 600-7453. Join us for the fun. Join us for the flair. Join us on September 1st and 2nd for an electric event of 80s musical magic. Sponsored by BTB, NCC, Travelers Liquors, Puma, Full Tech Systems, and the Angelus Press Limited. Partners with BEL, Smart, Niche, and PUC.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800-WAY-OUT. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
What did you mean earlier about climate change, Mom?
Well, when I was your age, I remember beautiful coral reefs and healthy beaches. The summers weren't as hot as they are right now, and the rainy season meant that it only rained when it was supposed to.
And then what happened?
The weather just started to change, and storms got worse. Coral reefs started to die because the ocean was getting too warm, and crops started to die because there was not much rain. You know, we realized as adults that we were doing something that was causing this.
What were you all doing?
Same thing we're doing now. Not using clean, renewable energy, chopping down too many trees, and even polluting the air with gases, such as the gases emitted from our cars when we drive around.
We need some help before it's too late, Mom. We can't let it get worse. What can I do? We can raise our voices.
With 35 million dreams, aspirations, and futures at risk in Carry Forum, we need your voice in our story against climate change. Acknowledge, commit, act. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center under the Intra-ACP Global Climate Change Alliance Plus program and is funded by the European Union.
And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we're getting our third and final conversation for the morning started. And we are shifting gears and talking all about the Commonwealth Master's Scholarship Program. And joining us in our studio, we have Ms. Sandra Kendall, who is the Director of the Training and Development Unit. We also have Mark Wallace, who is a past recipient of the scholarship, and we are also joined by Kristen Waite, who is the current recipient of the 2023-2024 Commonwealth Master Scholarship. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hi.
Lovely to have you here with us. So we're talking about this year's Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Program. Just before we get into past experience and current experience, perhaps we can have an explanation of the actual scholarship program. Ms. Sandra, would you be able to provide me with a bit of a background on the Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Program?
Okay, thank you very much, and thanks for inviting us to be here to share this awesome experience with the viewers. The Commonwealth Masters Scholarship, first of all, it's 95% funded by the UK government, through the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, who manages these scholarship program. This is just one that they offer, but this is the agency, all right, nominated one, where the Ministry of Public Service, Constitutional and Political Reform is the nominating agency for this scholarship.
Okay.
It is for Commonwealth countries, and you must be a citizen of a Commonwealth country to be a recipient of this scholarship. You also must be residing in a Commonwealth country in order to benefit from this scholarship. It's also important for, and the Commonwealth stressed this, the Commission stressed the need for the scholarship, no discrimination. Everybody can apply. It has no age limitation, all right? Even if you're challenged with a disability, you can apply their support systems in place. And so really, their focus is on development. Anybody who can develop and help to move the nation and globally, you know, enhance the economic conditions. And there are 6 themes really that they focus on when we're talking about the Commonwealth Scholarship. And you have the developmental themes, which falls under science and technology for development, strengthening health systems and capacity, promoting global prosperity, anything that deals with the economy, strengthening global peace, security, and governance, also strengthening resilience and response to crisis, and access to inclusion and opportunity for all. So these are the 6 general themes underneath which the scholarships are offered. And so for candidate, they must select within these criteria and themes, yes. And the scholarship focus on the lower middle class persons who, without this scholarship, they wouldn't be able to study in the UK. And so those are the persons that they want us to target. The scholarship seeks for us to be really inclusive in terms of making it accessible to persons in rural communities, as well as persons who may have disability, looking at our vulnerable communities as well. Okay,
now, Mark, you are an alumni of the Commonwealth Master's Scholarship Program. You came from the UK after your studies. Let's talk about your experience and what was one of the themes that you went to study under.
Thanks. So I'm a 2021-22 scholarship recipient. I studied under the team of Science and Technology for Development. So I did my master's degree in forensic science at the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland. It was a wonderful experience. The school that I attended is one of the best schools for forensic science in the UK. Their program is very expansive and inclusive. The UK itself is a very good place to study. There's a lot of rich history, culture, and technology that's very useful in today's era.
Yeah. So you pursued your degree in forensic science, and now you're here in Belize working. I want to know, have you been able to use your studies in the field that you wanted to work in?
Yes, so I was employed by the National Forensic Science Service before I got the scholarship.
Okay.
And I'm still currently employed by the National Forensic Science Service. I'm a forensic analyst in the firearms section of the lab. So ballistics, everything that I learned throughout the year has been applied, and I continue to assist my colleagues in making advancements, trying to give our customers, the justice system, quicker turnaround times, more comprehensive analysis. So.
Yeah.
And how did you initially hear about the scholarship, and what made you want to apply?
So I had colleagues from the lab who were chevening recipients. So studying in the UK was something I was familiar with because of them. And so I did a little bit of research between the Chevening Scholarship and the Commonwealth Scholarship. And the Commonwealth was kind of a good fit.
Yeah.
So.
You know, oftentimes, though, when we think of applying for these scholarships, it's a lengthy process, and it sometimes comes off a bit intimidating. Let's talk about the process that you went through and that ultimately led to you getting that opportunity to pursue higher education in the UK.
Excellent. So during my year, I actually applied in 2019. It was a combination of applying through the CSC portal as well as through the Ministry of Public Service as the country's nominating agency. So I applied through both. I was selected for interview. The application process is a little bit lengthy, but it is fairly easy to get through. Everything is laid out for you in the instructions, so you just have to go through and ensure that you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. and you know.
And that's how you were able to secure your space.
Yep.
And one person who understands that process and coming out on top is Kristen Wade. You are our newest recipient of the scholarship program, soon to head over to the UK. Let's talk about the theme that you will be studying under, specifically the program that you will be pursuing, and why you decided to apply for this scholarship.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. I'll pursue my master's in public health at London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. I chose the Commonwealth because, like Mark mentioned, it's one of the prestigious scholarships. It's a full scholarship in that it covers everything from your flights to getting your visa, the flight going to the UK to study, your academic coverage, the tuition fees, it provides accommodation, a stipend. So it allows you to not have to worry about the finances. You could focus solely on your studies. So my theme it falls under health and well-being, improving health and well-being.
Mm-hmm. So,
I was going to just ask about what your plans are. Well, sorry. How do you feel about travel? How did you feel when you first got the news that you were successful? And how do you feel now that you're about to travel to the UK?
When I first got the news, I think I was in a bit of shock, and a bit of panic came on me because it's like a big change, and it kind of felt a bit last minute, but it wasn't so last minute. But and because I had a bit of a delay in getting a response, I think I was getting used to the idea that I wasn't going to go. But so at first it was definitely a shock, but then I got a moment to be grateful that I was given this opportunity to represent my country. So now I'm preparing to go. I just completed the submission of my biometrics for the visa. So I'm not so nervous anymore. I'm getting a bit excited to going to the UK, going to a new university, studying. And although I'm in the field of medicine or health, it's still kind of, I'm going off paths a bit. So it's something new. But I'm really looking forward to going. The university, it has global or international coverage, so I know I'll have colleagues from within the field from around the world. So in addition to getting the knowledge that the university will provide, I'll also have opportunities to share experiences and just have open discussions with persons coming from other countries, low and middle income countries, so that I could bring back some of their experiences or the tools that they have back to Belize.
Yeah.
And I would like to use this opportunity also to invite persons to apply for the 2024-2025 nominations. The CSEC will be opening up the portals on the 5th of September, and that will be open up until 17th October.
Okay.
Right?
So there's time.
Yes, there's time. I want them to bear in mind that the UK time, we're 7 hours behind. So for those deadlines, they need to pay attention to those. The CSEC Commission also asked that don't wait until last minute, because last minute there's so many persons trying to get into the portals, and sometimes you have challenges and difficulties, and so they encourage them to prioritize in terms of making their submissions.
Yeah, so you mentioned that the process can be a bit intimidating, and I just want to assure people that, or persons who would want to apply, that just give yourself time, a month or two. Pace yourself. So something that I did, I took out a calendar for September, October, and November. And I opened up the application and I scheduled out each week I would focus on this part of the application. And I also want to mention, Mark mentioned that it's, so you apply to the Commonwealth and to public service. But the applications are identical. It's not that they are two separate applications. They're identical. It's pretty much just printing what you do online and submitting to the public service. At first, it can feel a bit overwhelming, but like I said, if you just pace yourself and take it as if it's a project that you're already doing for school. So So you do a lot of research on what you want to study. Just have a plan of what you want to do, why you want to do it, for bettering you, but also bettering your country, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, developing Belize. So everything that you include in your responses, make sure it comes back to Belize and how you can help improve your country.
Okay.
You know, I just want to also share, in terms of the process, what we had done this year, we have eliminated the process of applying to the Ministry of Public Service, because we have seen that it has created some sort of confusion with applicants. We have, for example, for last year, when we looked at what the CSEC portals had, it did not compare to what we had. We had a number of persons who applied for the portals who were very excellent candidates, but they weren't able to be interviewed by us because we did not get those applications. And so if they're listening, I want them to resubmit those applications to your portals. And then the CSEC, the CSC, will submit all eligibles to us. And then from there, we do our nomination process. So making it much more simpler for the applicants.
All right. So when do you head to the UK?
I don't have an exact date yet, because you would have to apply for the visa. It's until you get your visa that then you can book a flight. But I'm expecting probably mid-September. My course starts the 25th of September.
That's very soon.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, wow. So is there any advice, Mark, that you'd be able to impart on Kristen at this time before she heads over, knowing that you've been there and done that?
I'd just say keep in close contact with your program officer. I know my program officer, Miss Irene, was very helpful. Any questions that I had, I could have reached out to her and she would guide me along the way. Because this part of it is a little bit difficult to get started off with. So the whole visa application process can be a little bit confusing. You have to use their website and it directs you. Because we don't have a visa center here in Belize, it would direct you to a neighboring country. So if you go through the portal, it would take you to Panama.
A consulate. Yeah.
Right. But what it doesn't say is Panama itself doesn't process the visa. They only do the biometrics. So you would go there, do the biometrics. Like Christina mentioned, fly back. And then you have to mail your passport to Colombia. So there are better alternatives, in my opinion. So I think Mexico would have been a better choice. If I had known before, I would have chosen Mexico because you can do everything there. That gets you out of the country and into the UK a little bit faster because the turnaround time is a little bit less rather than waiting for your passport to be mailed back. You receive it when you leave Mexico. So you get to book your flights quicker and you get to the UK quicker. You get
and
to
that's useful.
Yeah.
That's useful to whoever is applying or is interested in applying for the scholarship as well. Well, guys, we want to thank you so much for sharing this information with us. I'll use this opportunity again to just, Ms. Sandra, you could remind us about the scholarship program, the deadline for the program, and why they should apply.
All right. As I've shared earlier, the portals will open for application on the 5th of September and closes on the 17th of October. I want to encourage Belizeans to apply. You know, our country needs the development, and this is I don't like to say it's free because it's costing someone, right? But I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. When we look at the various themes, they're all relevant to Belize, and so one of the things I was talking to both about was in terms of filling out the application, I want them to research. You know, when you're doing your plan of study and your plan for future and how you will develop the country, don't let it be off the top of your head. Get your stats together because as they can share, while they're nominated by us, it's not a guarantee that they'll be selected because they have to compete with that whole Commonwealth pool that is applying. So we want the best applications to move forward in terms of what you have planned for. So I really want to encourage persons to apply. Don't feel that you won't get into this scholarship. It's a very fair process, and so we encourage you. I also ask that persons who are hearing, share it with those who may not have heard, and let the word move around.
How many recipients from Belize can be shortlisted to compete against the other Commonwealth countries?
I'm glad you mentioned that. We get to submit 2 nominations, and I must say, I want to big up Dr. Laura Friesen, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But this was one time where we sent 2 nominations, and both nominations were accepted.
Okay.
And so both of them are leaving for this. Actually, she's not here with us because she's traveling in Mexico at this time, dealing with her visa application as well.
And how many scholarships total is being given out through this scholarship program?
Oh, we don't have that. We don't have that number for us. We just know that we're to submit nominations for 2.
Okay.
But if you look at the site, you would notice that they give out over 3,000 for annually, you know, combined with their other scholarship opportunities.
Excellent. All right. Well, any last words from you guys, alumni and Kristen? You're about to take on this journey as well. Any last words?
Yeah, I'd just like to encourage everyone to apply. Like Ms. Sandra mentioned, even if you're not successful, you can always tweak your applications and reapply. So don't let that sense of or afraid to fail stop you. You know, take that step forward and put the application in, and you know, just take the time to make it right, and you know, hopefully, yeah.
And likewise, I'd like to reiterate what Mark and Ms. Sandra mentioned, just to encourage persons to apply. Just try. Take your time through the application. Just pace yourself. Just consider that this is a great opportunity for you to improve yourself and improve your country too.
All right.
That's a great message to end on. But thank you guys, and congrats, Kristen, once again, for sharing all about the Commonwealth Master Scholarship Program. But with that, we are going to be taking another very short break. And when we come back, we're going to have our wrap-up, so please stay tuned.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price was too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Ouch.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Key San Pedro, and Belize City are just a click away with Caribbean Sprinter. Avoid delays by getting your tickets and boarding passes online at sprinter.bz, and welcome aboard.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the short code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win. Local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. We had 3 great conversations on this beautiful Tuesday morning, starting things off with royalty. We were joined by Kendall Morgan, and she is the Queen of the Bay designate for 2023. It was so lovely hearing from her. She shared a bit of her story and, of course, the experience that involved the Queen of the Bay. We want to say a huge congratulations to her. And we can't wait to see what she does in her reign. She will be crowned on September 10th.
Yes, and for our second conversation, we were joined by Dara Robinson, and he was telling us all about his September 9th Bram and Dance.
Yeah.
So if you are interested, you can head on over to the Ex-Servicemen's League, and they are going to be hosting the event on the 9th of September to bring in the 10th.
Yeah, if you're looking for that old school September celebrations, you know, he spoke of what it was like for him as a young boy back in the day, how they would celebrate the 10th. And, you know, it seemed to involve a lot of patriotism, which he says seems to be lacking this time around. Of course, that's his personal view, but it's definitely somewhere to be if you're looking for that old school celebration. Mr. Dara's events seem to always bring out their own special crowd. So if you're looking for some soul, some nice old-time music, definitely take your loved one with you. But he also has a raffle going on, or should be taking place as well, Gav.
Yes, and the raffle tickets start. The raffle tickets do start. They go on sale in the 1st of September, and the drawing date is the 29th. It is $20, and you do get the chance to win a 2006 Ford Escape.
Yeah.
So if you are interested, or if anybody you know, you can contact Dara. He is said that he's going to be around at some of the major events for the September celebrations. And again, the raffle does draw at the end of the month. So do get your ticket if you are interested.
Yeah, you get to win a 2006 Ford Escape for only $20. That's not, you can't beat that, guys. But of course, in our final segment, we were joined by representatives to talk about the 2024-2025 Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Program. Now, this is a prestigious scholarship program, and we were joined by Sandra Kendall. She is the Director in Training Development, the Director of the Training and Development Unit, and she was breaking down what the scholarship program is about. Of course, we were also joined by an alumni and this year's recipient of the scholarship program. We want to invite you to apply for the scholarship. You never know, it might just be your year. They did explain to us that it is a bit of a lengthy process. It might seem intimidating, but take your time and it might turn out something that is worthwhile. You'll be able to study in the UK and not have to pay a single penny. So that is something that I always look forward to hearing our persons here in Belize leaving to represent us and pursue higher education. Ultimately, we know that they come back here to contribute to the country. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Kristen Waite does. She will be working, she will be pursuing her master's in public health, and of course she will be returning to contribute back to Belize.
Yes, of course. So we wish her the very best and tell her congrats once more.
Yeah. Well, since we have a bit of a time, I don't think I mentioned it on the show. No, I did. I was joking earlier about the Queen of the Bay. I'm so excited that Kendall won. And my experience at the Queen of the Bay was just such a beautiful one. I think this was the first time that we even hosted it at the Civic Center. You know, it's normally held at the Bliss Institute of Arts and Culture. So it definitely brought out a crowd. So I'm looking forward to seeing Kendall be officially crowned on the 10th and to really see what she does under her reign. As she mentioned, she's interested in working with young people in sports. But of course, not only that, she wants to lend her assistance and her advocacy to anywhere that she can. But her focus and her passion seems to be sports related. So we're looking forward to seeing what she does under her reign. Other than that, though, I definitely want to invite persons to get excited about the September celebrations. You know, we are closing the month of August, and this August felt kind of drawn out. I won't lie, Gav. It felt
for sure.
It felt a little bit long.
And the thing is, you know, I started to see over the weekend at least some of the areas along the city start to put up their decorations for September. So I think that we definitely are getting into the mood.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, and I think, of course, the Queen of the Bay pageant is definitely like probably the event which really introduces the whole thing.
It's a staple of the September celebrations.
So we know that, you know, at the end of August, we know to expect that, and then things start to open up after that. And just like you, of course, I was very touched and intrigued by Kendall's story. She did share a lot of about her own personal struggles, even mental health and things that were going on with her throughout the process. So I'm grateful that she did share all of that, and of course looking forward to watching her get crowned and to seeing what is in store for the rest of her reign.
And you know,
and I was just going to say that also to the other delegates who participated in the competition, of course, you know, it takes a lot of courage to get up on that stage and to present yourself. So I do want to say a little bit, a small congratulations to all of the young women who participated. You know, you were very brave, and that definitely showed. The hard work paid off.
I'll tell you, each one of those gowns they were gorgeous, and I too want to send congratulations to each of the delegates that took part in the Queen of the Bay this year. So Gav, as we wrap things up and just really talking about the September celebrations, the Queen of the Bay that just took place, there's so much more we have to look forward to this September. There's the carnival, there's the 10th parade, the 21st parade. So there's a lot more activities coming up this September as we wrap up August, and now it's time to hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, get patriotic. How do you celebrate the September celebrations? We want to know in the comments. Let us know. Is there any tradition that you do? I know some of the older folks tend to have their homes with the colors of Belize, the Belize flag, you know, your curtains. These are the times you change your curtains to red and blue. You change your tablecloth to blue, your couch covering to red. And this is the time where you try to really feel the September celebrations everywhere you go. So from inside your homes to outside, we're going to start seeing those flags waving all over the place. I even see people, you know, there's those little vendors on the side that would sell the flags by the bump. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of those. Each vehicle passing having a little Belize flag on the side as well. And it's the time for the season. So whatever you do to celebrate the September celebrations, keep in mind that we are 1 year older. We're celebrating our independence again. And of course, that's always something to celebrate and be proud of. All right? But we want to say again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram at OYEBelize. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us again tomorrow as you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open.
Have a great Tuesday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.